what are the master data we need in SNP. Now we proceed further. The main difference between SNP APO planning and ECC planning is that the data you can able to view in a planning books in APO. That is more flexible than the MD04 screen. So whatever you see in MD04 we can see in APO with the planning books. I will open the planning book first. The T code is SDP94. Okay, /n/SAP APO /SDP94.
Okay.
Yeah, here I'm going to use a standard planning books 9A SNP 94. So this is the planning book I'm saying. So where here you can able to view the data for a particular material, particular locations. Okay, these are the key figures. Okay, like in MD04 you can view all of them in one screen. Okay, like there will be in the line, first line there will be a forecast, second line there will be a stock, then others maybe safety stock, another something like that. Different receipts elements or different demand elements will be there, but you can able to view line by line. Okay, but in APO we have a different key figures for each demand and each receipt elements. If you see here, sales orders are there, distribution demand is there, dependent demand is there, that like a production planned order, production confirmed, distribution receipts planned, receipts demand, all are different. So in MD04 you can see all of them, but in a line by line, one by one you can able to see. But here all together you can see in a different key figures. Okay, this is a different kind of view, and the main advantage between ECC and APO and MD04 to this one is here you can able to view all products together. If you want to view for a bunch of products or for a location, all products for a particular location, you can able to view. You can able to see all together as a forecast and a demand and the receipts elements. Okay, in MD04 you can able to go one by one. That is the main like that few other advantages we have in the planning book. Okay, yeah. So here these are the different key figures. So how the setup is done? There is some setup we required for this, creating these planning books and assigning these key figures to our planning books, all those things. What is that called is, first we need to select a different characteristics, but these are all standard, you no need to create anything. I'm just telling what are the elements we are verifying here. We are configuring, the configuration was done by the SAP. There are concept called characteristics and key figures. Characteristics, key figures, planning area, planning object structure. Okay, characteristics means the master data. Okay, the master data, and the key figure is the transaction data, where the transaction data where you store is key figure, the master data where you store is characteristics, and the planning area is will have a different key figures like a production planned order, production plan confirmed, distribution demand, dependent demand, all these are different key figures. Okay, all this will assign to a planning area, From there only we can able to use. So whichever the key figures you assign in this planning area can only be used, those only can be used for the planning book or view purpose. Okay, if you want to view a particular key figure, but if you don't assign to the planning area, you cannot able to view. So here the characteristics and key figures are inbuilt available in the system. So we just assign to the planning area and planning object structure and we use them. So in this planning area we assign a key figures, planning object structure we generally assign characteristics. Okay, but these are all standard. You cannot have your own characteristics, your own key figures. These are all standards available and you have to use them. But I will just explain.
So you
what
cannot
is the
configure.
You can go and check that one, but it's very rarely you may change those things.
Okay.
Okay.
But you cannot create
to create a new thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any business requirement to have a customized planning document? Is it possible to create or configure a thing?
Planning books is
view?
Yeah. Planning books is done.
Okay. No.
Planning books is.
And my question is, they are saying that there is a business requirement. We need to have a customized planning book. So in that case, we have to go and configure, right? Is it possible or not?
Yeah, that is possible. Here the planning books is different and this one is different. This is for setup. This is a setup. Okay, and the planning book is a view. All the setup whatever you have done you can able to view in the planning book. So if the customer wants a different view,
actually can we configure the characteristics and the key figure for the business? That's what you are asking.
You can do. You can do, but characteristics.
You can copy the standard and they can do modify.
Yes, but characteristics you cannot. Only key figures you can have. Even then you cannot go with your own key figures. It has to be a standard one only. But if you want to add a new key figure, any new key figure which you want for your business, you can use. But you cannot have your own key figures. But all these things we can do our own setup with the demand planning. If you are configuring as a demand planning, you can have your own characteristics, your own key figures, and you can have your own planning area. Everything can be done by ourselves. Means whatever we think we can create. But in SNP we need these things because the planning will be done with a set of characteristics and key figures. You have to choose them. So what we do is, if you go to the planning book, this is the planning book. After setup everything done, I can able to view the planning book. But before then, how to we set up is, this is the T code, msdp_admin. Path is this one. SNP environment current setting is msdp_admin. If I go inside, so these are the different here because of test system so many are available. In the real time you never see these many, only few of them you can able to see. All the 9 starting with 9s are standard planning areas. Okay, other than 9 all are whichever is you can able to see are created by the some users only. So here for the SNP, this is the standard 9A SNP02 is the standard one. Okay, and so if we want a new planning area for the SNP, we have to use this as standard only. Okay, but the only thing is here we can have our own planning area. We go with our own planning area, but we just copy this standard planning area. Because why? Because if I go inside of this planning area, there are set of key figures are assigned here. See here, all these key figures whatever is assigned is need for our planning. We cannot have our own key figures and create run a planning in SNP. We cannot do because we need all these key figures. So to have to easy way how to handle this one is to just copy the standard one and create our own planning area. That is possible. And while adding, you can add a few. If you want to add a new key figure, any extra, you can add it. That is possible. But here we have to use with these standard key figures. If I go with the any other demand planning is because demand planning the planning will be different. Our own setup can be done, but in SNP the heuristics are like MRP you have in ECC, we have a heuristics in APO. That heuristics requires some set of key figures and characteristics, so with that only it can able to plan. That's why we just copy the standard one into the our own SNP planning area. So this is the planning area. This is the planning area where you can assign a key figures. So if you go here, you can assign a key figures. Okay, but MPOS, if you want to go to MPOS, this is the MPOS, but we never use this because we just use the standard one. We won't change anything here. What is the standard one is? How to find out the standard MPOS is, because I'm just saying this is the standard one, the planning area, but this one we assign a MPOS. This is the standard MPOS 9A SNP BAS. If I go to the 9A SNP BAS, this is the one I'm using for this. These are the characteristics. You require a activity, you require a location, you require a product, you require a PPDS, PDS, and you require a resource and transportation lanes. Apart from this one, no other key characteristics is required for the planning. So we just use the same standard, but we can change the planning area. We cannot, while we copy the standard to any other planning area, we just copy, but the planning of the structure will be same, and that means the characteristics will be same. Only thing you can add a test underscore just giving, yeah. This is in red one. Red one means it is not active. If it is only green, then only you can able to use. So here once you copy, the standard characteristics will also be copied, and the key figure whatever there is will be copied. Only the name will be different. And if you want to add a new key figures, you can add. That is the only purpose. We just go with the our own planning area, because sometimes some changes we required in the planning area, very small minimal changes, but we never change in the MPOS. That's why we just copy the same MPOS only. The characteristics which stores in this MPOS, we just copy that one, because we never change that one. Only these characteristics, maybe key figures, you can, if you want to add a new one, you can add with the existing ones. You cannot add into the standard planning area. That is the reason we just create a test SNP for our purpose, for our business purpose. Okay, I will come to this again, but we just go with the standard one for this to understand your basic, because first you understand the basic, then we can come again to these points, so that you will be very much easily understand whatever I discussed. First we'll complete with the basic things. So here the basic things, what I'm saying is I'm just using the standard one. Here we require these key figures, like here different key figures are there. These key figures are divided into some categories. How means a basic thing is a demand elements, total demand, a receipts elements, and a stock on hand. How these are all defined is, if you take a bank account, you have a debit, you have a credit, and a balance. Same, what are the demand elements like a forecast or a sales order or any dependent demand, all will come under demand. Okay, this is, you can say, demand. Demand elements, credit is receipts elements, and the balance is stock on hand. In the bank, if you say if you withdraw through a cash or withdraw to a check or withdraw by any purpose, it will be withdrawn, but the element will be different. It will show with the cash, it will show the check, we will show some other DD or something like that. And credit may be through cash or through check. If any online transfer or a salary credit, all will be different elements. Like that, in the same way, we have a different demand elements and disease elements. You may be knowing in MD04, but here we have a different key figures. Like demand elements is forecast and distribution demand. Maybe dependent demand and distribution demand confirmed. Like the different demand elements will be there. Receipts elements is like planned order. Process order or a production order, and distribution receipts. Receipts planned, receipts confirmed. Like the different receipts element will be there. So in that way we differentiate the key figures. All these forecast, sales order, distribution demand confirmed, TLB confirmed, dependent demand, all are demands. All will be added into the total demand. And the receipts elements, these receipts, distribution receipts planned, distribution receipts confirmed, TLB confirmed, in transit quantity planned, production confirmed, all will be added into the total receipts. When a planning is done, it will check only the total demand. It will not check individually what is the demand here. It will check only the total demand. So whatever the demand, it will check, and what the total receipts you have minus stock on hand. So with that only it will plan. So these are all two different types. One is demand elements, another receipts elements. Apart from that, we have a stock on hand, supply shortage, if you maintain a safety stock, if you maintain a reorder point, all these things, and ATD issues receipts. I will explain each one by one later. Okay. So this, you understand this, the demand elements and receipts elements?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So here, this is the standard one. That how these are all coming means we have, after this, we created a planning books. This planning books has to be created. Once you set up this planning area and planning object structure, once you have, then you have to go with creating a planning books. Where you will create is, I don't think so that planning book is available in SNP. You have to go with the demand planning. Okay, yeah, define. This is the area. See the path. Supply network planning, environment, current settings, and a planning book. Define a planning book. SDP 8B. Okay, where we'll define. Here if you see what is the planning book I'm checking is this one. This is the planning book, and data view is this one. I will explain each one. What is the planning book and what is the data view? Just go to the change view. Planning book. Planning book is a where you will assign all the key figures from the planning area. In the planning area we have all these key figures. We just assign to the planning book. and the data view is, because you cannot see directly a data in a planning book. Under that planning book you will have a different data views. With that data view only you can able to see. Okay, what is the data view means? That setup, how you want to see the data, whether you want to see in a daily bucket or in a weekly bucket, or how long it's for next 2 years or next 5 years, for how much period if you want, all will be defined in a data view. Planning book is just a setup or adding all the key figures and characteristics. Okay, in that one you will create a different data views. Okay, this key figure I will explain later, this tab. Okay, this one, this is the data view. Here you just given the data view name and a data view description, time profile. This is the time profile where will be defined how you want to view the data, whether it's a daily bucket or a weekly bucket, how you want to view, that will be defined here. Okay, and again you will add a different key figures into the data view. We already added into the planning book, again we are adding to the data view. In the first one we just added from the planning area. From the planning area we added into the planning book. Now in the data view, you will add from the planning book to the data view. So whichever you added in the planning book, those only can be added into the data view. Why we need this one? Why can't all the key figures we can see whatever we have added into the planning book? Because sometimes we won't use all the key figures for maybe for performance wise also. If the users don't want to see all the key figures, we won't give. If the key figure, if we are not allowed, users are not allowed to check or view or change, then we won't give that key figure. Like that, some restrictions can be done so that improves the performance. That's why we just add again the key figures to the data view. So whatever you add in this data view, those only can be visible in the planning book. Okay, yeah, this is the way. We'll go now and create a different planning book and our planning area. You understand the concept, basic concept, right? Is there any doubt? I'll go and create again these things. Okay.
But Kishore, actually the key figure you are already selected in the planning book, right?
Right.
That only we cannot see, right? If you whatever giving in this data view only we can able to see.
Right, exactly. Okay. You will come to know once you are comfortable. You will come to know why we have a data view and a planning book. Okay. Just listen, because it is a little bit confusion will happen sometimes. So I just created a test planning area where I have seen this one. This is the one we have just created, this one. So it is in red status. Red status means it is not yet activated. If it is green, then only it will be activated. Red means it is all, you cannot use the planning area. How to activate? How to activate means you have to define a time horizon. Means time horizon means from which date to which date you are going to use this planning area. Which date means which is for how long horizon you want to view the data, for the next 2 years or next 3 years or next how much period if you want to check. So that I have to define in a initializing the planning area. Once you initialize, then this planning area will be active. So I'm just right click on that planning area and go to this initialize planning version. Here I'll create a 000. 000 is the must, and then you can, after that 000, you can have your own version, or a 100 or 200 or like that. For testing purpose, if you want to test with the same master data, you can have a different version where you can do your own logics, your own planning. So once you are comfortable, you can use the same in the version 000 also, but active version is 000. I'm going with the active version. Okay, If you want to execute, you can execute background or foreground. Yes. This test SNP is active now. You can check the initialized one. Means whatever we have just initialized. This is, see here the date it is showing from 2016 to 31st 12 2012 only, but we want to view the data till it's still in the past. At least from now onwards, from 2014 onwards, if you want to see for the next 2 years, the end date should be at 2016 or somewhere else, but it is showing only 2012. Means you can able to store the data till 2012 only. The data which belongs to till 2012 can only able to store in this planning area. So that is wrong. Means that we cannot use with this. So we have to extend this end date to 2016 or somewhere else. How to do this one is, there is a separate program is there, SC38. I'm just searching that one. I just have to find out that one. Maybe I will look into that later. I'm not able to find here. Yeah, I will find that later. So here just that we need to increase this, you understand, right? It is showing that we run that program regularly because every time we need to increase the horizon. So you don't have this horizon in MD04, right? You just will view all the data, right? But in SNP we have the horizon. Why? Because if we don't have any horizon, it will lead to a performance issue. To increase the performance issue, we just keep the horizon how much we want, that much only we just keep. Because if we want to view the data for only for 2 years, and if the horizon is there for 5 years, then it will impact the performance. That's why we just have the horizon only for the 2 years or 2.5, and then we keep on increasing every week or every month like that. I have to find that program. I just unable to see here. Okay, but this is the way. After this one, once the planning area is ready, you can able to create the planning books. The same what we have here, the same planning books you can able to create in the same area, but here also we just copy the standard ones, standard planning books. This is a standard planning book. I want to go with that one only. With reference, I want to create a with reference to the one which we have here. This one. This is the reference I am taking. The data view I am giving, not the planning area book, because it will automatically pick the planning book from this data view. The data view I am giving this one, and this. Create. Now the data view is ready. If I go into the change, I can check. I can check the same data view, whatever we have seen, the same one. This I can use for the planning purpose now again. The same data view, I just copied from the standard one. But here this data view is macros are not activated. So once it is macros are activated, then only you can able to use this data view. Okay. If I tell you the macros, you will get confused. So we'll discuss the topic macros later. Then I will use this planning book. Till the time I use this only the standard one. So if we see, if you want to see the one which we have created, just go to the planning book and it will be in alphabetic order always. So the T means it will be in the down. Test underscore SNP we have created. this one, SNP underscore data view. This is the one we created. This is looks same like what we have just seen, because we just copied from the standard one. So all the key figures which are available on the standard planning books also will be showing here. Okay. Yeah. This is the way to copy this from the standard to the our own planning book, but here you need to activate the macros, then only this planning will be useful. Macros means that is a separate topic. I will discuss that later. If I tell now, you will get confused. So I will go back to the standard one. All 9 ones are standard one, but we need only this one, SDP 94, 9A SDP 94 here. So this is one we just copied, this one. If you go, yeah, this is also looks same. Here two types of planning books we have. One is this normal planning book, and this is second one is the capacity view. If I double click on this one, this is a capacity view data view. Capacity data view. What is capacity view is, here you can able to check the resource capacity and resource consumption. In MD04 you will see all the planning results. Okay, but the resource capacity that you have to check in somewhere else in ECC, I guess. So in SNP we check in here how much each resource is occupied, how much is what is the consumption for that resource, what is available for that resource, available capacity. So this we required for the planning purpose. Once you are done the planning, then here you have to come, users will come and check. They will how much it is occupied. If there is a high capacity consumption is occupying for a particular month or a particular week, then they will shift that demand to some other buckets. There are some elements are there to adjust the capacity also. But this is mainly for the capacity purpose. In ECC, where do you check this capacity?
Capacity leveling and capacity optimizer.
In which T code that you will check generally?
Yeah, we have separate CM01,
CM01,
CM25. Yeah, 20.
Okay. So in SNP we check here. Here we go with the resource. We check for each resource, not for products. It's only for the resource. So basically we have a two types. One is a normal SNP data view, and another one is a capacity view. So in this one normal, if I go to this one here, we can have a different data views. The main purpose may be that how you want to view the data. Here this C, here it is showing as a daily bucket. Daily bucket means it will show day wise like this, 20th, 21, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, like that. Okay, if you go forward.
Sure, do you want to copy capacity also separately, or it will copy automatically from the standard ones here?
Yeah, same how we just copied. The same way you have to copy for the capacities also, capacity data view also.
Okay.
At that time you have to choose this one, this data view as a reference. Okay. So here in the normal one, here this is the main difference. The data here we can able to see on a daily bucket plus weekly also. Till 5/7/2014 it is in a daily bucket. Sorry, 6/7/2014 it is still till this time it is a daily bucket. After that, if you see, all weekly bucket are showing. It's a weekly bucket. Again after that, week 28, week 29, week 30, like that is there. How that is there is because of time profile that we assign for this planning book. Where do you assign a time profile is? Again go to the planning book. If I check the standard one, I will go to the directly data view, standard one, change. Still you can't able to change, even though I go to the change mode, can't able to change because this is a standard one. So this is the time profile, 9A SNP. because of this time profile, you can able to see the data in this way. You can change the time profile. So in our planning book SNP planning books, we can have a different data views, because users may ask that I want to see the daily bucket for the next 3 months and then onwards weekly bucket, or he may ask you to for only all the views as a weekly bucket only. You don't want to see the day wise. So depends on the user's requirement, or we create different data views. One is data daily bucket, one is weekly bucket, one is quarterly bucket also. So it's up to the users which one he want to use. So where do you define this time profile? How you define this as a daily or weekly, how you want to view is a time profile. There are different time profiles are available. With that one you can able to see. This is a 24 months, this is a 27 months, this is 12 months, like that. So where we'll create this time profile is
here actually the menu and the configuration all are in same here, right? There is no
yes, almost same. Yes, you have the same in Pro also, but almost all of them are in same. Few things that I will discuss later. You required in the change. You have to go into this Pro. Few settings. Okay. Yeah. So this is the where maintain time bucket.
But here you do not ask any transport request, right? Here.
You cannot ask here. If you want to have a transport request, then you have to go to this Pro and then you have to create. Okay. Yeah. See, this is the maintain time bucket profiles. Here, if we use this one, 9A SNP, this one. So this is showing. Just follow the standard one. When you want to create any new one, just follow the standard one. Then you will understand better. So this is how it is. Number, how many buckets you want in a weekly. W means weekly bucket. Here we have a different views. Month bucket, week bucket. Post period means you can have your own way, but we generally won't use day bucket, quarterly or yearly, like that. Or shift wise also there, but we won't use. Mainly we use the weekly or a daily in the SNP purpose. Maximum or a monthly bucket also. So here they have in the standard one, it has given W. W means it's a weekly bucket. Weekly bucket they have given it 10. I'm just confused here. Go to the planning book. Here, if you observe how it is, 26 to 6 means for the 10 days it is in a daily bucket. After that it is on a weekly bucket. Weekly, how many buckets are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But it's in a different way it is showing. I'm just confused here because there is no 7 here. Only 10 and 3 is there.
Sure, one more thing. Actually, what is the difference time horizon? What is the difference between time horizon and this time bucket? Already given 2 years as a time horizon, right?
That is one how you want to store the data. The planning area we just discussed, that is how you want to store the data. This is how you want to view the data. This is only for the view purpose. First one is how you want to store the data. The planning area will have some certain capacity. In that capacity only you can able to store the data. So that capacity you can define. How much capacity you can have for your own your planning area, you can define. Whether you want for the 2 years or 3 years, how much capacity. Because we don't give a extra one. We give how much we want exactly users. Because it will impact on the performance. That's why we just go with the certain period only. You can have your first for the next 50 years also. You can create in the planning area. You can extend, but it will impact the performance. That's why we just give for the 2 or 3 years. Then we keep on extend that one. This is how you want to view the data, because if you see the users practically, they are much bothered about the first 3 months or first 2 months of planning. After that they are not much bothered, because they can plan again. So just they will see on a weekly bucket. Yeah, if you ask me what I'm going to produce on a December 10th or December 15th, I'm not much bothered. Maybe users will calculate on a December month how much my planning is there, how much demand is there, how much planners are there. He can view on a monthly or a weekly bucket. That's why how he want to view, that will define here. Here completely a 24 months. See here 24 months, it is mentioned month, then it can have that one. So once we would define for any, if you are in a implementation, all these things you have to create. Once you are going to support, then all these things will be created already. You just use them for your planning. Okay, we hardly create any new things here. Once it is set up, then we just use the same things. Okay, this is for 21 days, only 21 just days like that days. If I want to go with create a new one, I can create. Then give the number, give the number 24, and how you want to view means 1 month. Month means, yeah, enter. Then it will display as a 24 months. Already some profile is there. So if I go with 28, can create, then that profile will be ready. But the current purpose, you just follow the standard one. We can have that discussion later. Okay, that I will discuss that later. So this is the purpose. So this is how you want to view the data, that you have to create a profile and then assign to the planning book. So if you have if you want a 2-3 data views with a different profile, then you have to create 2-3 data views. All will be showing here, like here for the under one planning book, you can have n number of data views. How much you want, you can able to create those many. But we will go with, definitely we go with more than one, like one for monthly view, one for only weekly view, one for only data view, or some capacity views we just go with, because the capacity view also users generally check it in a weekly bucket, not in a daily bucket. So that also we just create a new data views. That all, yeah, I will go with the standard one currently, but once we discuss with the macros, I can show you how to activate and use our own planning books and data views. So this is where you just check the data. Okay, and here there are different setup elements are there, these buttons and this selection window and this profile. This all we use. I will explain each one by one. So first one is in MD04, you go, if you enter first MD04, you will go with the product and location. You will enter a production and go, then you can able to view the planning data. Here if you want to view any data, you have to go with this selection, this selection profile. This is the selections window first. So you have to give the product and a location like that. But how you want to view the data? Here different ways are there. Okay, whether you can go with the resource you can always go with the capacity views, but in general with this planning book we generally go with location products. Choose a location products and choose a location. If I want to see for location 1000, then I can see all the products for that location. So these many products are there for this product, for this location 1000. So you can load individually or you can load all together also. If I want to load individually, I can just pick this combination, I will load into this planning book. There is no data of course, but you can load. But if you want to load all together, you can load, select all and load. See here, there are total demands, receipts. For all products together, you have this much of demand, this much of receipts, and this much of supply shortage is there. So in the planning also, how the users will go is they can go by each one product by product, or they have some groups for checking all final finished products are finished product in that range, in that area, like that they can go and check. So, but this is the selection window where you can select the data. Okay, and if you want to view in a different purpose also, you can view, but hardly we go with the any other view other than the product location for this S&P event. For the capacity view, we have a different view that we will check when we go into the capacity views. Okay, but these are all things, what are the characteristics we have in the MPOS. The same characteristics will show here. The same characteristics will show here. With that only you can able to view the data. So the master data, how this the coming is, you have created a master data with 1000 and some locations, and you have assigned to this 000. Here also you are choosing the same 000. That's why you can able to view the data which you have created. If I go with another location that yesterday we have created with this ship to party, I can go with that ship to party also. Customer, what CH something we have selected, right? Yeah, this CH 444 we have selected this. How can I be able to see that location here? Because we have created this location and assigned to a 000. That's yeah, model. And this here is a version. Here it's only version. How means the model, under that model, how many versions are there? All, but for all that versions you can able to see. Okay, we just assign to the model, and that model is assigned to this version. So that's why I have chosen this version, so I can view the data. If you are not assigned that combination to any version, any model, then you can't able to see in the planning book. But when it is coming, the master data which is coming from ECC to APO automatically will be assigned to a model. But if you create manually, then only you have to go and assign particularly. Otherwise, that step is not required. Okay, there are some other settings also there, like a creation and saving these profiles and using some other buttons that I will explain you in the next class. Okay. Is there any doubts till now, whatever we discussed?
Sure, actually,
yeah, I have a doubt. How we show these values mass? Selecting the value and choose the value in your planning with mass, right? How it will be loaded?
This one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there are. Right. There I will discuss that. That is a separate topic. I have to explain you.
This is not loaded. I'm just selecting in the selection object. You selected the values, that all locations and products. across your
Okay.
product. For
Okay.
particular location product wise, you show all the values, right? You loaded
Right
the
here.
values. How
Right.
it was made?
Yeah, because here I have selected the combinations.
Okay.
Okay, there are already values are stored for these values. These values are already stored for these combinations. Okay, and these
So that
combinations
is
are assigned
fine.
to
If
a
I
model.
select a particular, okay.
Okay, we have selected this version. So under that version, how many combinations are there will be available for viewing the purpose.
Okay. No, I agree with
It's all
you, but
together.
if I select one line item, yeah, it will show the particular line item. Suppose I selected mass, I want to show for all product, I want to view the what is the plan. So how it is possible? You loaded something, you selected and loaded. What is the answer?
That's why you select all. You did, I think, select all and you code it.
Yeah, I selected all and just loaded the combination. So you want to see the planning one by one together, or how exactly? You are asking the question. I didn't
You
get your question.
selected the value, yeah. Suppose
Right.
I want to view particular line item means I double click there, it will show. Suppose I want to
Yes.
I want to load all the products for what is the plan means how
Yeah. So there are header settings available. Okay. Here, once you click on this cap button, the header settings will be available here. Here, you have to choose the products. Okay. Once you select the product, it will show. So all together, once you click on detail all, it will show. But here, if I click, it will go for a long time because these many key figures are there for all. So that's why I will just choose only one key figure. Let's see. If I want to create only see the production planned one. I want to see only production plan for all the products. Then click on and go to the detail all. You can choose different key figures also, but here just for the basic purpose I just choose one because it will take long time if I choose all the remaining key figures also.
Sure, yeah, this screen will not show the what are the emerging element like purchase location or planned order.
It will show. It will show. It will show. I will discuss
Planned
that in
order.
our next classes.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have a different key figures, right, for sales order, for forecast, for purchase requisition. With that we can able to see. Each key figure will show if it is a sales order means it will show only sales orders.
That's correct, but I want the number, which sale order number.
Yeah, we can able to see, but not directly. You can't see directly, but you can go and particularly have to check.
Okay.
I will show you that in our next classes. Here it will show only order number, how much it is. If the sales order number is 1000, then it will show with the number only. You have to once you double click on that number, it will show the sales order number also.
Sales order number also.
Yeah, that we'll see in our next classes. So it will take some time when you drill down like this, all products together. So in your project, you have a scope to work on this SNP?
No, not now.
No.
Okay.
your hour is gone.
Yeah, somewhere is there, but it's okay for today. So one more thing I just wanted to ask you. Tomorrow, you guys are available? Weekends?
Uttamil, what about you? Hello? Uttamil? Kishore?
Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow I think we will continue at the same time. I will attend to Uttamil.
No, Dev, this is Murli here.
It's fine.
It's okay, na?
Dev,
Yeah, Murli.
Dev,
Yeah.
tomorrow there won't be any session, so we'll continue on Sunday.
Okay.
Tomorrow we have other plan, in fact, so I didn't update Kishore. I'm going to tell him, Kishore, we have to, have a call with Mr. Kartikeyan, yes, and tomorrow morning.
Okay. Yes. So he will be available only on the weekends, I guess, right?
No, actually, let's discuss the plan on tomorrow. So we'll have a call on tomorrow. There is one more guy from Dev team, so last weekend he has attended Mr. Sheikh, you remember, for the demo.
Right.
Also interested to go for the weekend, and so I'll also try to communicate with him today, and we'll see for
Okay.
tomorrow.
Okay, right. Then this we'll have with